Shit, was it supposed to go live? I don't remember.
Well, Restream's got stuff coming through to it, and I've checked. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wow! Both YouTube and Twitch came on simultaneously. That's
Woo! That never happens. Quick, put on a lottery ticket. Oh, just as a note, just for you, I can't run out of power tonight. There's a light with power.
Oh wow!
So the screen's not going to go dark.
Well, that's excellent. Always good to have a light with power.
Gosh.
Am I frozen again?
No, you're still good.
Moving. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the stream. That's all. It looked like I was frozen for a second. But no,
Don't start that. We've already just hit the button.
Hence why my hand just came up in front of the screen. It's like, are we broken?
What are you doing, man?
It's Ghost Ram.
It's like you can't see him moving, but he is moving.
Yeah. I could be a magician, couldn't I? Like, this way. Look at my eyes, look around. Not anything else, but my eyes. You're under. Good. Now, you will send all your money to the Rand Nerds Patreon.
Shit, do we have one?
Odd. And snap and you're awake again. We have got a Rand Nerd Patreon.
Have we?
Do you know, I've not checked it in about a year and a half. I bet. Let me check.
I didn't realise.
Let's see if our Patreon. Let's see if our Patreon is still actually active.
0.
I'm sure it will be 0. I don't want to. Oh, just let me log in.
£5,000 a month.
Oh, really? LastPass now decided to log me out. Okay, LastPass. You. Okay, I'll do it on this browser instead.
I'll do it on all of the browsers.
Oh, no, I need to verify the device.
Oh, for fuck's sake, how hard is it to log into an account these days? I just want to see how embarrassing it is.
Yeah. Log in.
Log in.
Now I need to open up the what do you call it, Food Bob? That gives you your electronic mails.
Oh, the computer.
Client. Yes.
The phone.
I need to open up Thunderbird. Thunderbird is now go.
And everyone's like, wait, what? I'm not using bloody mail.
Well, no, because sorry about that noise. Thunderbird actually has some functionality to it that's useful.
Does it still have an RSS reader in it?
I believe so, yeah. I believe, or if it's not, you can definitely, shush. You can definitely, what do you call it? Do you wish to allow this log on? Yes, I do. And we're in. Stop telling me I've got emails. Poor Skaz. We're going mad. Right.
Yes.
My page. We have 0 Patreons.
Yes. I'm glad we're doing something.
The last live stream posted to Patreon. Do you have a guess?
The day that the account was set up?
Quite pretty close, but do you want to
Fucking hell, Ram!
Do you want to guess the last live stream posted to Patreon?
Rand Nerds 24 hours last year.
No.
It's oddly specific, but yeah.
It was episode 110.
Fucking hell.
Broadcast 16th of March 2019.
Ram, what happened to the rest of it?
That's probably the last one I actually got around to posting on it.
Okay.
Well, you know. Look, I've got to the stage now where I'm suddenly realised we need a social media manager. We just can't afford a social media manager.
Yeah, you're right. You probably are right. We do need one, and no, we can't afford one.
Yeah.
Well, why can't you guys do it? Because I can't even be bothered to do my own.
Do you know how many things I have to set up for every new podcast? You know, I have to go and edit the Twitch stream. I have to go and create a new version on YouTube. I have to go into Restream and relink it again so it goes to the right place. I then have to, do other stuff. You know how much hard that work that is?
Mate, I'm sorry. Just so much effort, so much work, the stress you must go through.
It literally takes me minutes of my day.
I'm so sorry.
Well, you should be.
I genuinely, mate, I am. I didn't realise how much you had to go through.
It's a miracle I've lasted this long, to be honest. It's an absolute miracle.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised we haven't pod faded yet.
Yeah, we somehow keep coming back. I don't know why, but we're still here.
What episode is this?
Well, I'm the Suffolk Graham.
Yes.
Welcome to episode 199.
Fucking hell! Language already. Woo!
Of the Ryan Nerds podcast.
We did it.
Which
Doing it.
means next podcast, 200 episodes.
That's if we can afford to run anything anymore. Or the country hasn't caught fire.
Which means, with an average podcast length of well over an hour, there are now more episodes than there are hours in a week. You could listen to Ryan Nerds for over 8 days straight.
God blimey. Sounds like a cracking deal.
It is. I mean, I believe they use some form of executioner in Terminal Bay. But you can listen to the glory that is Ryan Nerds for a whole week. And there you go. You
can survive being captured by the Americans.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. So thank you for joining us this past episode. And well, I'm not sure what we're going to do for episode 200 because the original plan was to go to Chernobyl. But that's now off the cards for various Russian reasons.
Bastards.
And
I reckon that's a fucking conspiracy. I'm calling them up.
Do you think Putin hates our podcast?
I think so.
Do you think this whole thing should stop us podcasting?
Yes.
He got the dates a bit wrong.
Well, what can I say? You know, he's Russian. They have all the letters backwards and that, don't they?
That's very true. Yeah, they can't. I mean, small children learn not to put the letters backwards.
That's
but they carry on all the way through. So
yeah, but that's because they're the bigliest.
You can see why Trump got on well with them, can't you?
Bless him. Gonna have to call up the Don. Say, could you do me a favour and call up old Pooty and just tell him to cut it the fuck out? I know you guys are rocking around as the nuclear power trio right now, but cut it the fuck out. I've got shit to do.
He's not. He's he's probably getting arrested for treason.
He nicked some paperwork, did he? I've heard.
He's one of his golf resorts got raided by the FBI. And they found boxes and boxes of top secret documents.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and his excuse basically was, well, he's got several excuses. One that, oh, well, I had a standing order that anything that left the White House was automatically declassified. Doesn't work like that, apparently. Legally doesn't work like that.
All right.
He had, his other excuse was the FBI planted it, which all goes contrary to what he just said.
Yep.
I can't remember his other. He had other excuses. Of course, as is usual, he said Obama had took over 3 million documents with him. I mean, that's a lot of paperwork to carry. I mean, I've been a DM, and I couldn't generate 3 million pages of a campaign.
Yeah.
And didn't generate lots of paper.
Could you imagine the amount of toner you'd have to go through for 3 million pages?
Well, as we ain't got a lot to talk about, let's work it out. So
you can tell where 199's going in the bin.
Yeah. How many pages can a toner cartridge print? Let's see. I have it's about 5,000 pages. No, not ink cartridge, toner cartridge. I want proper stuff.
Some.
So most toners have a capacity between 2,000 and 4,000 pages. Let's split the difference and call it 3,000.
All right.
Which makes it very easy because 3 million divided by 3,000 is what, 300,000 cartridges?
How much is that going to cost, Ram?
How many noughts in a million?
Lots.
9 noughts in a million.
It's more than I can count.
I never can remember.
It's more. Yes. More than none.
A million 6 noughts. Okay, so 1,000 toner cartridges to print 3 million pages.
How much will that cost, Ram?
Let's see. I'll have a look for a toner cartridge for my laser printer.
You got to quote the Don happy. Because I don't think he quite operates a pen drive or anything, you know?
So they're £150 for my Proto cartridges.
Okay.
For my machine. So again, 1,000 times that. So that'd be 149,980. Let's call £150,000.
He's good for that.
But let's be honest. This is the American. I mean, they spent that's like the cost of one missile for their military. So that's plausible. They could have. They could. That. Right. I'm not saying that Obama printed off 3 million pages of secret documents. What I'm saying is it's plausible that someone could have bought enough toner cartridges to print 3 million pages.
Yes.
That is plausible. But
Tune in next week for another episode of Ran Nerds Myth Busting.
Ryan Nerds does maths.
Ran Nerds Conspiracy Theories. Could the Don have done it? Maybe. It's plausible.
Is the Don traitor to the American nation? Yes.
Probably.
No, yes.
You can't be saying that.
I'm British, I can say whatever I want.
Good call. Bless him. He's going to be upset now. We're going to have to take him off my speed dial. Hang on. Sorry, Don. You just don't make it today.
Yeah. Just basically, if he starts harassing, just make sure you block him.
Is he allowed on Twitter yet? Well, you ain't going to be allowed to do fucking anything.
He got banned. He made his own Twitter, didn't he? His own version of Twitter with blackjack and hookers and stuff.
Oh, mate, I want in on that. Why didn't he invite me?
The only one saw nutters on it.
Yeah, but I shaved my head and everything.
Talking of nutters, did you see about Alex Jones, the American conspiracy nut?
What's happened? Come on.
Did you see what happened to his lawyers? How his lawyers absolutely fucked him over. His lawyers fucked him over.
His own team fucked him.
Yes. So his lawyers were meant to send over some as part of a legal process. You have this stage called discovery, and basically both sides had to share all the evidence they have with each other. Yeah. So documents and so forth, and you can request it, and they have to share it with each other just to prove that so everybody goes in with a full deck of cards as well. There's all this shit you see on TV where they suddenly go, "I've got this document here. I want to enter the evidence." That doesn't happen. You would never get that. In reality, everybody knows all the evidence. They just have to argue the differences between it and get experts and what have you in.
Yeah.
So he was meant to submit across all information to the Sandy Hook shooting.
Yeah.
And they asked to send the information across from his phone. His lawyers sent them a image of his entire phone, 300 gigabytes of data.
Oh,
everything, and the defendant, the complainant's lawyers were they basically messaged about saying, "I don't think you meant to send us this," but they never sent any real correction say or took away access or what have you. So if you, and there's never a law, and I'm going to butcher this because I'm not an American legal lawyer, believe it or not. But after so long, if you make sure the other party's aware that they've fucked up, they have like a set number of days to fix it. After that time, though, it becomes fair game.
Oh, shit.
So they basically emailed back and said, "You fucked up," and they waited 10 days. At which point, the other party hadn't done anything. It became fair game, and they were able to use all the information on his phone. I'll put a link to. There's a video. There's a lawyer who explains it a lot better than I do, and he says at one point Alex Jones goes to the complainant's lawyers and says, "This is your Perry Mason moment, isn't it?" And as this lawyer says, when you also have to say something, "This is your Perry Mason moment," it's not a good sign. So I'll put a link in the show notes to this guy's video, and he'll explain it a lot better than I have. But yeah, it's as fuck ups go, that's a pretty fuck up.
I was gonna say that's fucking pretty brutal. Jesus.
There's a part of me that suspects maybe it wasn't quite a fuck up, but I'm not gonna.
We're basically stuffed just Bennett. Maybe.
Well, it makes you wonder if that somebody has some degree of compassion at the Alex Jones' lawyers and accidentally sent everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, because wasn't he saying something along the lines of they were crisis actors or something like that?
Yeah, they're all made up. The children never existed and all sorts.
Fucking
And
hell.
some of the parents got hounded by Alex Jones' followers. I think one actually committed suicide.
Jeez.
So yeah, he's definitely a nasty piece of work.
See, this is the problem with the internet. Everyone has a fucking voice. And once upon a time, you could just say to someone, look, you're just being fucking dumb. Shut the fuck up. But you can't do that anymore. There's too many of them.
He's done so many. He's been quiet. He's such an idiot. He didn't attend court one day because doctor said medically he wasn't able to.
Right.
And so he didn't attend court. The complaints lawyers basically went toward the judge and said, he's so ill he can't attend court. However, he's currently at this moment live streaming from his studio as we speak, and they put up his live stream and showed it to the judge.
Silly bastard.
Yeah. Oh, there's another law I saw recently of lawyers behaving badly. This is not like a famous person, but a lawyer actually managed to get a mistrial, basically a defendants managed to get to sunk their own defence and got a mistrial declared against them. So they basically, this doctor had screwed up. He had basically meant to put I think it was a feeding pipe or oxygen pipe to somebody's stomach and basically screwed it up and ended up basically causing internal damage and killing them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not nice. Not nice. This isn't a nice thing.
That's a pretty big fuck up.
It's a pretty big fuck up. So
if you're a doctor and your patients, like, you know, there's a reasonable chance they're going to live. The point is, you're supposed to make them live longer.
Yeah.
You done fucked up.
As is right, they got sued.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got sued, and the defendants' lawyers, I don't know how, managed to win the case. They managed to basically, come up with some arguments. Basically said, you can't 100% prove that our doctor actually killed him. Long story short.
Okay.
He was then filmed, and I don't know if this was filmed by phone, somebody there, or from a Zoom meeting or something. And he's giving a address to all his legal teams. And he basically talks about how a situation where we had a client who, and again I'm paraphrasing slightly here, we had a client who killed somebody, but we managed to get to expect defence and get him off, or words to that effect. He then said it was such a quick result, he got the lawyer who defended the case to come and ring a bell because they won the victory. Somebody recorded this and posted on Instagram.
Oh, fuck.
The plaintiff's lawyers then took said video and basically went back to the judge to say, this is obviously grounds for a mistrial because they're basically admitting they know he killed him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so it's good. So, and the mistrial got granted. So they'd won and then they've lost again.
Bless.
Yeah. So I'll put a link to that one as well.
The trick is, right, if you goof enough to end up in court, right, and somehow you get off by seat of your undies, yeah, just be on your best behaviour for a while.
The doctor was. This is his defence counsel who did it. The doctor got off, and then his defence counsel basically bragged about how their client killed somebody and he got him off.
Then I would say, right.
I won't be having you for my next defence counsel.
So, well, actually, mate, you better not be planning to fuck up again.
Yeah. The guy who did an apology video. The defence counsel.
Oh my god, he issued an apology video. What is this, fucking YouTube drama week?
Yeah, he sat there, he was crying his eyes out, you know, he was so upset, he hoped that he really fucked up. He basically said, his apology was basically, I didn't realise it would go on social media.
What? So, this is the thing, right? I'm going to give you everyone, here's a trick. Just one trick. Don't be a cunt. It doesn't matter if you think someone else is going to see it or not. Just fucking don't be a dick. Fuck.
Yeah. Whenever you're with somebody else who isn't you, assume everything you say and do could at some point end up on Facebook.
Damn right. Look, if you don't want it to be fucking found or discovered, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Christ.
Just don't be a dick.
That's it. Like, how hard is that?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking... It's not very hard. This is like a Viagra advert. Just fucking cut it out.
If everybody wasn't a dick, we'd be all right. So
bless him.
I
didn't think it'd end up on social media. What swat? Oh, bless him.
So I hope you've enjoyed Randnerd's Maths and now Randnerd's Law Review.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful, mate. That is absolutely fucking beautiful. Well, his career's over.
Yeah. I'll drop you the links later so you have a look.
Oh, mate. I've fucked up pretty bad in my life, but so far not that bad.
Yeah, not bad if you go on the pub for saying, yes, my client did kill somebody, but we got him off.
Fucking hell.
Oh dear.
I've needed a laugh.
Well, I've needed a laugh as well.
Oh.
It's been a busy old week. Been a good week for me though.
Yeah?
Some exciting news. I ordered the car back in February.
Yes.
Got delivered Thursday.
Hey! The Dacia Sandero is finally here. What's up?
Dacia Duster. Thank you very much.
How is it?
Oh, it's very nice. Oh, it's so
Was it worth the wait?
Yes. I've put a couple hundred miles on it already because it got delivered with 12 miles on it. It's lovely. It's got. In some ways I was lucky by the delay because they did a mild facelift to the Dacia this year.
Okay.
So the one I ordered had a version of like its infotainment system, had Apple CarPlay, but it was plug-in one.
Ew.
Yeah, which is a bit annoying. And then about 4 or 5 months later, they upgraded the infotainment. They basically refreshed it slightly and put wireless Apple CarPlay in it. Because mine got delayed so much being built, they put the latter version in. So I end up with the wireless cap. I've ended up with the slightly better system.
Can I just ask, how does that work? Because do all Apple iPhones have NFC and stuff on them, or
it's done through Wi-Fi? Your phone connects to it.
Oh, so it
Wi-Fi.
uses like AirPlay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
System, yeah. So there's two versions, wired and wireless. So, because I thought it was Bluetooth connection. So I was like, why do you have a wired and a wireless version?
Sure.
But it's not. It's Wi-Fi because the sheer amount of data to put across. So that explains why some systems have it. Because the ones that need to have wireless have to have extra Wi-Fi stuff added into them and so forth.
I suppose, because I mean, the iPhones only output on USB 2, don't they? So.
Yeah, but they well, whatever. That's the difference. Why I had to have Wi-Fi enabled so it could do.
Yeah, sure.
And I have to say, it works so well. It's so sick. It's you get in it and it literally within a few seconds connects, and your phone's just on your dashboard there. You can play your music. It has sort of smart features built in. So like, if you have all like your appointments in your calendar. If you go in your car, it'll look at your calendar and go, well, you must be probably going to your next appointment. Then it just automatically says, do you want to start getting ready to navigate you to your next appointment automatically? So just the nav just basically picks it up.
That's
like this afternoon. It's because like this afternoon we were going to we went to an escape room this afternoon.
Oh, did you?
For sister's birthday, yeah, escape room. And it was in the diary, so as soon as that in, it just popped up and wanted to give me directions to Chapelfields.
Oh, cool. I was going to say, so clearly you got out. Unless it's something you're not telling me.
We escaped at 56 minutes and 12 seconds.
Oh, there you go. Good job.
Yeah. So it was. I've been to one before with friends. This was a family one. Because I said I thought they'd enjoy it. And we were in Aladdin's cave, and we had to find the genie's lamp.
All right.
And we managed to. And after a few false starts, we did manage to escape and find the genie's lamp. And we did escape. We got out.
Cool.
And it was really good fun. Have you ever done an escape room?
No, I have not.
You would really like an escape room.
You think?
I think so, yeah.
Put my wit and skills to use.
There are rules about what you can and can't do.
Oh.
So, you can't, yeah. For starters, you have to put all your stuff you have in a locker before you go in. So you go in basically, you can still have your clothes on. That's still allowed.
Are you sure?
Well, they didn't say we couldn't take our clothes in, but I didn't ask. But you go in, you put everything goes in a locker. Then you go in, it's just your wits about you and so forth. But yeah, so you can't take lockpicks with you. Or some wire cutters to cut through the various connectors.
Oh, mate.
And they are monitored while you're in there to make sure you don't fuck things up.
So I can't take my soldering iron.
No.
Can't take my lockpicks.
You can't take your laptop and sort of like hack into the network.
Fuck's sake.
No. But it's quite good fun.
Okay.
We should go. We should go to one.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you're not allowed to take cameras in though, because they don't want people to sort of like film it and put it on YouTube and spoil it.
Oh, fucking what? I'm supposed to be doing a vlog.
You can vlog yourself before you go in, and you can vlog yourself at the end.
Then nick in my camera. I'll never see you again. No, Ram. I'll never get out. Think about it. Peace and quiet.
Oh, no, because they do. It's not quite peace and quiet because they do. Well, how can I put it nicely? They do basically say you've got half hour left type jobs.
Guys.
Yeah, it's not quite peace and quiet.
It's probably quieter than my fucking house.
Yeah, probably, yes. At the moment, yes. Because don't the kids go back to school next week?
Yeah, in a week or two, I think. They're staggered. They're not all going back at the same time. But thank you. I can't wait.
I love how you say they're staggered, because for some reason I was like, well, he goes back at 9 a.m, he goes back at 10 a.m.
No, it's funny you say that, actually. No, that is the case in some senses.
Really?
Because, my eldest son, so when the finish for the day, they've had different times to finish for ages. That's why my streaming slot was 10 till 2, or my free time slot was 10 till 2, instead of 10 till like 3:30 or whatever, because my eldest son would finish school at 2:30. And my youngest son would finish at 3:20.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fucking ball ache.
Yeah. Well, if they're different schools, though, I suppose it's sort of handy.
I suppose. Just on the other side of fucking town.
Which one? The one that finishes later or earlier?
No, the earlier one's on the opposite side of town.
Oh, that's annoying.
Although I don't actually know when my youngest son's school lets out now. So... fucking school.
So I'll turn to an academy and he can be there till 6 every day.
I thought that was pretty much every school in the area, innit?
I remember someone at work who really kicked off because she worked sort of like, 9 till 6s. And they said they're going to say, "I'll go turn it to an academy," and she's going to have the kids there from like 8 in the morning to 6 at night.
That'd be great.
And she's like, it's great for the parents, but I don't think children could actually. I think that must just. I can't think how children get anything extra out of the children.
Well, in fairness, though, I know some parents who used to send their kids to like breakfast club and after school club every day of the week.
Yeah, that's great. Again, that's good for the parents. I bet the parents loved it, but
oh yeah, the kids don't do fucking. They can barely get anything out of the kids anyway. Jesus fucking Christ! Yeah. This is the trick. Like, kids don't learn shit in school. 2/3 of them just sit there fucking twiddling their fucking thumbs all day or talking shit all day.
Bring back the cane, eh?
You damn right.
Perhaps they could have like little electrodes on all the chairs. And she should sit there.
No, I would wire up the metal on the tables so that, if they fucking lean over the tables, they get shocked.
Yeah, you could do that. But if you put a little electrodes on chairs, the teacher could have a little like board in front of them, and every time they saw a student being a bit sleepy, you just hit a button.
No, I just fucking whap the entire class. I wouldn't even isolate individual chairs or tables.
Oh, now that is a good thing, because if everybody gets punished for one person falling behind,
you damn right.
Oh,
you got it.
Oh, I tell you what, my fellow pupils would have hated me at school if that was the case. Because I was so stupid at school.
Oh, mate, it's not possible.
I was really thick as two short planks when I was at school.
Ram?
Honestly, yeah.
I don't believe you. Well, the smartest motherfuckers I know.
Talked to my mother, and she will confirm it. She was really worried when I was at school. She was really concerned about me and so forth because I was very behind. I struggled to learn. I used to sit there. I used to sort my mind used to wander. I mean, if I was there now, if you know, like sort of 8-year-old me was there now, I probably would be being tested and assessed and.
Oh no, they don't do that, Ram. They don't do that. Honestly, they'll just leave you to sit in the fucking corner and be done with it, or they'll raise an issue with the parents, and then they'll leave you in the corner.
Well, things haven't changed because basically they used to talk to my mother about it, but nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's basically the same groove as now.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking nightmare. And you know, to be fair, I think to myself now, like if I'd have gone, because I was what's the one where you've got the potential but you never actually put any effort in? Underachiever? Underachiever.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Whichever one it is, I'm the one that didn't put in, like, I had the potential, and then when people started to expect things of me, I just shut down and didn't do anything.
Yes. Do you think that was partly that? Could it partly be that because when you got something, if you got ahead of everybody else, you got bored that everybody else wasn't with you?
I was bored, and two, I didn't want the attention. So I would just fucking purposely flub stuff just to not to have that extra weight put on.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I used to do it in uni and that all the time. Fucking just, I'd look at the minimum requirements to get a passing grade, and then I'd do that, and I'd have fucking weeks left over. Weeks. Yeah. So it's like, nope, that'll do. I've already got the passing grade. Done. Finished.
Yeah.
Have it done in like less than one session in an afternoon. Passing grade. Bin it off. Not interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, them are the days.
Them are the days. Our school and college days.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, school's not a good time for me.
No, me either, to be fair, mate. Me either. I feel sorry for a lot of the kids these days, and given how I've seen a lot of people as they've grown up, we've all grown up on that, right? I go, the one thing I've noticed, I don't know if maybe this is just a school thing in general, but people always seem to wish for their high school, college days again. Because no one's ever told that the fun times don't last forever kind of thing, right? And there's what was this thing I heard? It was a while ago. This teacher saying, yeah, I want these children to look back at this and think of it as some of the best times of their life. I was like, you insufferable wank stain. This can't be. I see so many people damaged now because of that mentality. Because they've started to go through life and they're not getting what they got back in high school. They don't have the attention. They don't have the praise. They don't, they have to fucking, work to pay their bills and shit like that. People aren't just handing shit to them, and so they end up fucking miserable.
I remember the transition to working full time.
That's a shock to the system, isn't it?
Yeah. First time I worked full time, I was like, fucking hell, this is really hard. I'm tired all the time now.
Yep.
What?
And then you look at your bank balance and think, well, I've worked all this fucking time. Let's check it out.
Yeah,
Bam. Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's like, hey, look at that money. And then 2 or 3 days later, when all the bills come out,
yep, that's exactly like it is now. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. I remember a time when I actually used to have fun.
Yeah. And then eventually you get into like this sort of Stockholm syndrome about the whole situation. And you sort of like go, oh, that's all right. Full time. That's okay. I could do that. And you're off, and you don't think about it anymore. But yeah, initially it is horrible. You think, how do people hack it? I don't think I can hack doing this. And then it's like, well, after about sort of a few months, your brain sort of like readjusts, and it's like, oh, I can do this now.
Yeah, so I'd say probably after like 3 to 6 months of the slog, it just becomes habit. But that's a fucking. But the trouble is when people, let's say they go fucking 5, 6, 7 years in that same position, they're like, well, there's got to be more than this, because all they seem to do is just work and pay bills and work and pay bills. It's like, sorry, that's it.
Yeah.
For the majority of us, that's it. Yeah, but I remember back when I used to be able to hang out with my friends and party and travel and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, that was back then. Like, if you'd have worked hard and saved back then, you'd have had more options now.
Maybe, but all your friends would have had to work hard and save.
Well, yeah,
back
exactly.
then as well.
Yeah,
So
because
it's not that easy.
Trying to fucking get people together as an adult, nightmare. Fucking nightmare. Think about all the cool LAN parties and other stuff that you could do back in the day. Ain't ever doing that now.
No.
People get fucking jobs, married, kids. You're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, let's just have a LAN party next week and just 5 days just doing non-stop LAN party because no one's got any commitments.
Yep.
No one has to go to work, and now it's like, hey guys, do you want to meet up for a meal? Yeah, sounds good. Right, when's your available? Oh, I'm available on this Friday in 6 months' time.
And that's like, oh no, good. I can't do that one, mate. I can't do that. I've got a school play to go to.
Yeah, because you get tied down with work, and then then eventually you get married, you get tied down with a partner, and then after that you get tied down with children.
Mm-hmm.
And,
it's great.
And before you realise, it's like, what is free time? Does that exist?
Nope.
I don't have any.
It's a myth.
So,
good times. Speaking then, Ram, of free time, have you actually had a chance to do anything?
No.
Oh shit.
I have played a bit more Deus Ex. I have fitted some worktops. So there's some bit of free time with my free time. I've fitted some
there you go. So what you're basically saying is, so because you're saying you're playing through Mankind Divided, yeah, the last of the new Deus Exes. There were supposed to be 3 of the new ones, weren't there? But they only released 2.
Yeah.
You've played a game that you've played through before. I've played through a game that I've played through before, and both games that we've spoken about on the podcast.
I never finished Mankind Divided.
Okay. Do you know if you're anywhere near finishing it?
No. Time-wise, I'm not, but I am enjoying myself more this time through.
Oh. Okay.
I've sort of gone to the tone of it. I'm still not keen on the storyline. Isn't as good. I think because actually, it takes a long time for anything sort of to develop.
Right.
Nothing's really developed so far. It's like the main story wise. It's very slow little spoon fed.
Cool.
Whereas in Human Revolution, your like initial sort of like your tour levels like set with attack on Sarah's headquarters, and then sort of immediately after that, you get augmented and you wake up back at sort of Sarah headquarters. You've just come back. You're then called in to go deal with a like some hostage crisis.
Yeah.
And you have to go back, and you're in a fairly confined space. There's stuff to do, but there's not much to do.
Yeah.
And then you go off, and then that hostage sort of starts building more into like the normal sort. It seems sort of not relevant, but actually it is. If fairly quickly you realise it is relevant, so it gets you into the story fairly quickly. Whereas this hasn't really got into the story very quickly. I think it's one that you have to go quite through for. It's like, let's make all these sort of unconnected things all of a sudden feel like they're part of something. So the story hasn't grabbed me anywhere near as much as Human Revolution's ones. And as I think we discussed last time, was they sort of wrote themselves into a corner. A little bit of storyline.
The allegory for racism.
Which is, it's fine or something. And people would, and obviously after an event like what happened, people would be bloody suspicious of anyone who's augmented.
Yeah, but you'd be knocked at the people who made it, not at the people who were augmented.
But that you're assuming everybody out there is rational.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you are right.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I mean, people who hate Elon Musk will go key somebody's Tesla.
No, fair point.
And people like so it doesn't quite well up, but it's okay. But I've sort of like now sort of go around sort of magical, get some more upgrades and so forth, and I'm sort of mucking around a bit. I have sort of took my time, sort of like spent a lot of time exploring around and there are some actual like interesting bits really hidden away.
Yeah.
Like you come and there's like you come across this bit where there's a some drones that just seem to be randomly attacking some people, and they're like just in the middle of this random sewer somewhere that you wouldn't necessarily you don't have to go to. You can't hear they're there unless you actually explore. You would never come across it. And you take them out, eventually first person. You find that you get a bit of backstory about how they were like kidnapped to be sold as like miners and stuff because they're augmented and stuff. And there's some interesting little bits in it. It just doesn't feel the world doesn't feel so fleshed out.
Right.
I think also it doesn't help that all your people you're working for either distrust you or they see you as or they actively hate you or they see you as a sort of like necessity. So there's no, you've got no sort of like feeling of any sort of like buddies.
Sure, I get that.
So like you work for TF-29, Task Force 29, which is an intel organization, and nearly everybody there is either suspicious of you or the main sort of like main characters. There's one person who's like quite nice to you, quite likes you, is fairly polite to you, but they're not like a really main character. But like the guy like you work for, he like sort of like really is arsey to you. Well, not your main boss, but sort of like also your fellow sort of soldiers.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, he's like that with everybody, and he actually says as much. He says something like, "This is why I've got 2 ex-wives because I'm an arsehole, basically."
I feel that.
But then
because
like,
the tech guy from Human Revolution, he was a bit of a twat.
He was a bit of a trap, but he was. But as time goes on, he warms to you.
So this guy's just an outright twat.
He is, but I just find that basically he says, "Yeah, I'm a cunt and I know it, and I'm not going to pretend." The guy, so your boss, I don't know if he respects you or not, but he sees you as a useful tool to have. But it's like sort of like sends you on your way and so forth. I did find his apartment to break into his apartment, steal his sniper
You
rifle.
cheeky bastard.
I didn't realize
No wonder he don't fucking like you very much.
I didn't realize this was his apartment. I hacked into this apartment because I upgraded my security clearance so I could hack into high level things. And then I go to the laptop and hack and say, "Oh, it's so and so's laptop. That must mean this is his apartment." So I go upstairs and I find a secret room with a sniper rifle in it, which I steal and then immediately sell on.
Those fucking clankers.
yeah. Basically, yeah, you clank.
Fucking coming into my fucking apartment, stealing my shit. No, I want to ask actually. There was a reason why I asked you about Deus Ex, because there was supposed to be a trilogy of the new ones because they started to make them in a time when we like to have sequels for things. So technically, the story is unfinished. How the fuck does it go from Mankind Divided to the regular Deus Ex?
So they leave a lot of gaps in between. So obviously, in regular Deus Ex, it was acknowledged that nano machines were like the new technology, and that augmented agents, mechanical augmentations, was the old technology. But they don't talk an awful lot about the past in the original Deus Ex. So that's why there's such a huge gap of stuff that could happen.
Sure.
And basically, the people had a lot of free reign to do stuff because the original Deus Ex, I think, set in 2042. I think it's set in.
Okay.
So set fairly far into the future. Because I think this one's Deus Ex Mankind Human Revolution is about 20 years prior to it.
Sure.
So that basic game lots of free reign. Now you do find yourself, you do come across names. So for example, the head of Task Force 29, his boss is Joseph Mandely, who's the guy who leads you Natco in Deus Ex.
Right.
So but he's illogical. He's Task Force 29's boss. And you can see how UNATCO could form out of Task Force 29. Sure. That's not in the backstory of how UNATCO forms, because UNATCO forms when they blow up the Statue of Liberty. You can see how it sort of developed from it. So there's lots of things. Obviously, the story's been very drip fed, so I've not seen a lot more of those connections. But there's a lot of other companies, so like Verse Life, who's a big part of Deus Ex, still exist in the original Deus Ex. They are the only remaining manufacturer of Neuropozyne, which is the drug you need if you are an augmenter, so you don't reject your augmentations. there are lots of little tie-ins and so forth, and they're basically full free reign because not much is talked about in the past. There's a lot of talk about in the distant past in Deus Ex. They talk about how the organisation has been formed like in like the 1400s, like the Illuminati are formed like back in like sort of like 1400s, and like they talk about how they evolved from like the Knights Templar and all this sort of stuff. All that sort of stuff is in there, but not sort of like their recent history was sort of almost deliberately left blank.
Yeah.
So they've able to build us. It's basically a blank slate form, which is ideal for doing a prequel.
Well, yeah, because I was just curious though, because we go from, orgs being fucking despised to nanomachines. I was like, well, if you fucking hate the augmented, and I'm sure there were still augmented folk in augmented agents in original Deus Ex.
Yes, that's because
only Denton was he one of the only ones with the nanomachines?
He was the second nanomachine augmented agent. So his brother Paul was the first, and JC Denton is the second of the all nanomachines. And you do so pretty much all people you don't encounter many augments in Deus Ex. There is it seems to almost be in Deus Ex originally that the impression you get is that the augmented people are actually in general either the mega rich, or they are basically soldiers.
Sure.
Because most ones you encounter are working for UNATCO. There's a bartender you encounter who's ex-military, I believe. I mean, bear in mind, it's been probably about 10 years since I last played Deus Ex, and my memory's probably a bit hazy on this. There aren't many augmented people, and also the other thing is worth mentioning that Deus Ex takes place in all the civilian areas. It takes place in very poor parts of the world, deliberately, like you are where the dregs of society live. It's where it's set. Whereas Human Revolution is in the more posher parts of the world, so there's sort of a class divide as well. But it is very clear there is definitely. I mean, obviously, people attitudes change and so forth, and how I don't know what they do in the storyline to tie it together, but I suspect it'd be something along the lines of perhaps augmentation. But there's definitely not as many augment people in Deus Ex, mechanical people in Deus Ex, as there are in Human Revolution. Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, it's fairly common.
Sure.
Augmented people are fairly common. It's almost like we know when the proper smartphones first came in, and like there was a sort of like it started off like sort of like just the really elite people. I say elite people. The people who had lots of sort of spare cash to buy them had them, and then it sort of gradually filtered down. But managed at a stage where it's not quite got to everybody.
Yeah.
So you still have to be fairly well off, and because being augmented in Deus Ex is really, especially in Human Revolution, causes you to take a drug the whole time. You'll have it. You do need to be. It's not for everybody, but there are quite a few people who have. There are quite a lot of gangs who are heavily augmented, who steal neuropozyne and what have you. So it's odds are if you lived in Deus Ex's world, Human Revolution's world, odds are you would know an augmented person. Probably several people who would augment. It's probably some quite minor, probably some quite major.
Yeah.
And also it was quite common if you were. It also applied that if you worked in some sort of industry, you could basically apply to have parts of the augmented. So if you're a construction worker, you could actually get better pay by being augmented, so you can carry power tools to your arms and stuff. Whereas in Deus Ex, original Deus Ex worlds, no one's talking about augmented. It's probably quite a rarity. You probably know of people, but you probably would know someone direct. At least that's the impression I got. So
sure.
I suspect what happens is that mechanical augmentation basically sort of almost dies out as an idea unless it's kept within. Because let's be honest, government and militaries aren't going to sort of forget about it.
No.
They're going to still want people being augmented because they can see it. And also, you've got to remember, it's only 2 years after the incident, so everything's still a bit raw. 10 years is a long time for people to forget things. Yeah. Particularly if you're military.
I mean, because I was just thinking, because obviously you're not going to get the ending from Human Revolution, really, because I'm sure there was supposed to be another game
I think you're right. I think there was maybe a third game.
and it never came out. So it just.
I get the feeling that they wrote Human Revolution as the. They were. I don't think they're anticipating a sequel necessarily to Human Revolution.
Right.
That's the thing I got. I definitely anticipating a sequel to it. They basically built a prequel that could stand on its own.
Oh no, sorry. Mankind Divided was supposed to have the. There was supposed to be a game after Mankind Divided, and I don't think you're going to get. I mean, I don't know who actually owns Deus Ex now.
Square Inc.
Square owns it still.
I think they do. Yeah, I think Square still owns Deus Ex.
Oh, okay, cool. I won't entirely
sure.
sure.
I might be wrong on that because I think they might have actually sold it.
Oh.
When you say that.
Because I mean, if we ain't going to get that third game, so I think they were planning on making a third game after Mankind Divided. I always get the fucking subtitles of those mixed up. I really want to know how they would bridge the gap, or if they would leave it with enough time left over to maybe make a fourth or a spin-off or.
So, according to an article from May, a company called Embracer Group, a planet-swallowing massive video game publishers that already own likes of Gearbox and THQ Nordic, have announced they have purchased a number of properties from Square Inc.
Oh.
They purchased. They have purchased Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Inc. Montreal.
Right.
The Canals IP'd they have now purchased is Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, Thief, Legacy of Khan, and others.
Oh.
Okay, Kane,
Legacy of Kane.
Yeah. So they basically, so it has been bought. Those ones have been bought out.
Oh.
It's interesting. I always find it interesting how Thief always seems to follow Deus Ex around. They are not at all related. They always seem to follow each other around. Tomb Raider is a bit of a surprise. Although I suppose Tomb Raider, because I thought the new series has done quite well. The newer ones.
Yeah, but the last one was quite old now, isn't it? The last of the new three.
Yeah.
I don't think people appreciate that third one as much as they did the first of the reboot.
Yeah, so we might get another Deus Ex. You never know.
I was just curious. I was just curious because it's been a long fucking time since Mankind Divided.
Deus Ex, Human Revolution came out 2012. Mankind Divided came out 2016, I think.
Right.
Have a look. I think that came out. Yeah, 23rd of August 2016. So a fair time away. I mean, it's slightly bizarre to think that because Human Revolution is set in 2027.
Oh.
Yeah, so 35 years away. And to be fair, some of the stuff they've come at, some of the stuff, I mean, they're a bit, also tells me, some of the sort of like technology they showed off, it's sort of starting to come a bit to pass.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting actually. I do sort of like keep an eye on sort of. I'm intrigued by sort of because I'm very pro augmentation. I think augmentation is, in general, a good thing with the right.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Regulation.
Sure.
But I've been interested sort of following stuff. I mean, I saw a video of this company who's basically developed a HUD that you can wear on a contact lens.
I've seen about that. Yeah, the VR community went fucking like, oh mate, about that.
Yeah, because it was more augmented reality. I mean, it's only like sort of like it's very. I mean, it's only like sort of green text type situation.
Oh yeah, sure.
But it was interesting watching that how you could sort of like the idea of wearing a contact that has like a built-in HUD.
Mm-hmm.
Seems quite cool to me. You know, imagine sort of like getting directions to go somewhere just appears on your screen.
That'd be neat.
Your eyes. That would be neat. I do worry about having a battery that close to my eye.
No, I agree. That's one of the things I thought. It's like that's not. I'm not entirely comfortable with it. It's neat, but it because even though I've got a duffer eye, I wouldn't want anything near that eye that could maybe pop, burn.
Yeah.
You know, it might have limited uses, but I'd like to keep those limited uses.
Yeah. I would also. I'm more keen that if they could somehow integrate technology into glasses that weren't just a Google glass, you know, that you could have it as a part of any set of glasses you could buy. Oh, do you want to have the whatever upgrade to your glasses? Because at least you can take a pair of glasses off. If they start to catch fire, you can take them off.
Yep.
I'd be more inclined for something like that. Because I know Google Glass, but I'm sure they can miniaturize. If they can miniaturize onto a contact lens, they should be able to put it onto a set of glasses.
Yeah.
That I could see being a more realistic thing, realistically. But it's interesting actually how, you know, they're getting better. They are starting to sort of solve the issues of, you know, human machine interface where basically there's no sort of feedback between the augmented limbs. So it's still two that you have strapped to you rather than actual integrated fully with you. They're starting to solve those issues. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes, that technology, and how close we get in 2027. We won't be Deus Ex level close, but there'll be some. I think there'll be more stuff than we realise.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
But yeah, sorry.
No, keep going.
I said I might have to do. I'll find out what date the events take place in 2027. I might be play Deus Ex Human Revolution in 2027 on the days it takes place.
Have you played there is a mod for Deus Ex on Steam?
Oh, do you mean?
Is it like re-envision, whatever it is? They've redone the soundtrack. They've.
Oh no, not feeling. No, I feel something completely different.
Oh, what are you thinking?
I was with the Cassandra project, which was basically was a total conversion mod for the original Deus Ex.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called the Cassandra project.
I have no idea. I was just wondering because you said it's been a long time since you played Deus Ex. Although I do worry, right? Because Deus Ex is one of those games where, you know, people have really, 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 really fond memories of it, and I would say, like, I would be interested if you were to play Deus Ex again if you still, like, really, really, really enjoyed it. But then, given how we were with Silent Hill 2, I don't know.
I have replayed Deus Ex probably 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
Plus, I would say.
But in the last decade, though, you said you haven't. So
no, I haven't.
You know, a lot can change in a decade.
Well, once I get past Mankind Divided, I'll go back and replay the original Deus Ex just to see. Because I mean, I modified the original Deus Ex myself, but by hacking the INI files.
Mm-hmm.
Because I modified to make it play on HD screens.
Yeah.
Because you can just go and be an old UE game. You can just change the screen resolution by just changing the size in the INI file.
Them are the days.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the mods for this game. What's it called? It's something. It was called the Nameless Mod. That was it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Nameless Mod. That was it.
Okay.
It was a basically it was a third-party total conversion modification of the original Deus Ex. It was developed for 7 years. Got released in 2009.
All right.
Put that in perspective. Deus Ex: Invisible War got released in 2003. So.
Huh.
And Human Revolution was 2011. I was wrong. It wasn't 2012. It was 2011. Human Revolution got released. So I'll have to put that in there. So that's Total Pleasure mods for you. I mean, let's face it, Black Mesa took about 20 odd years.
I mean, there is a mod if you look on Steam. It is just like literally just type in Deus Ex and there is a mod just ready to download, install. job done, and that changes, I think, like HUD elements, reworks a couple of levels. I've not tried it. I was tempted to, just to see what they've done with it.
Yeah.
But
So I didn't actually have any great deal of dislike. I mean, I'm interested what they changed, because from memory, I don't think I had any more dislike of the actual original HUD interface.
I think it might have been the guys. I don't know. Right, right now I am literally pulling things out of my ass. I think it might have actually been done by folks who worked on the original game, because I think they also redid the soundtrack. The guys who worked on the original game.
I wonder if it's to do, because when they released Deus Ex for the PlayStation 2, they did put some extra levels and stuff in it.
Oh, right. So you think they might have brought those over onto...
I wonder if that's what they've put across. Let me have a quick look. Deus Ex Revision.
That's the one.
It's community made for close features, new environments, music, well built in detail, by some of the best modifications the fanbase made. Creates directly no high-res textures, I might have looked at it. I'm not sure how I feel about it when communities start modifying games. I know, like in the case of fixing things is fine, but it's like I always feel a little bit like it can be very hit and miss, and they can vary quite. It won't be a consistent quality throughout. It can really miss throughout as you go in the game, but depends what they've done. I might look into it, find exactly what they've changed.
Sure. I mean, you'll know more than I would. Although it would probably affect you more than me to play through the mod, because I know very little, or remember very little, of Deus Ex.
Yeah. Well, I would say add it to my library. I'll add it to my library. There we go. So add it to my library now, so I can...
We might as well actually wrap this up as a Deus Ex cast, to be fair, because it turns out, I don't know what I played the original Human Revolution. I might have been on fucking Nintendo Wii, to be honest. No, not Wii. Wii U. Because I launched the game on Steam the other day, on the Steam Deck, and I performed a takedown and got an achievement for it. So I was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Have I not done this before?
So I think there's I think it's Human Revolution is the only, not counting games where like you get achievement just by going through them, and you don't get achievement from doing anything. I think Deus Ex might be one of the only Deus games with actually 100% got achievements on.
I think I don't think I ever actually properly played Deus Ex on Steam either. Because that's obviously one of the older big box games. I don't remember if I ever had it as a big box. I know that in the times that we've been doing this podcast, I've played it from GOG, I think.
Yeah.
Don't hold me on that. But yeah, my Steam playtime says like I've probably played it for like 2 hours. But I'm sure I put more time into it than that. Every single time, though, I play it, and I basically do, like, the first mission. Like, the terrorist in fucking, at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, just every single time I restart it, I'll play it to that point, and it's like, boop, done, off.
And that's when you bounce off it.
Well, I do it with a lot of stuff, though. Like, say, for example, Final Fantasy IX. I could start that game up 1,000,000 times and only get to the point where you do, like, the theatre performance, or Final Fantasy VII. If I get to, like, I don't know, where the disc falls or whatever, the plate falls, fucking, you're lucky. But, like, there's always, like, a point with a lot of games where I'll just play it and go, yeah, cool, I'm done now. Kind of like, you know, when you launch a game up just to get another taste, like, I remember that game. But you don't really intend to play it from start to finish. You just kind of
Yeah, I know what you mean.
sit and groove through it, and you're like, yeah, cool, that was still pretty fun. And then you just turn it off, and then you never go back to it. And then, like, in 5 years' time, you launch the game again, load up a new save, and...
Yeah.
Because I was tempted when you said you were going to do Mankind Divided, that I would go through Human Revolution.
Yeah.
Like in Deus Ex with a fucking brutal gold filter.
I like the gold. I like a lot of the ties and clothes in Human Revolution.
I quite liked the look of the game. Just I'm terrible at the controls.
If you're going to play Deus Ex Human Revolution, play a director's cut.
Sure.
Because that is so nicely integrates in. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's so. But they've done a decent job of integrating in all the missing link levels and redoing all the boss battles.
Right.
That is the, in my opinion, the definitive version to play.
Sure. See, with the boss battles, because I remember everyone complaining about those, I don't think that's too much of a problem, to be honest, because I think actions in those kind of games should have consequences, and given us a newer game...
I think that people complained, and I had a bit of it. She said, if you spec your character to be a stealthy, knocky out
yeah, because you actually have to fight in... But then, again, actions have consequences. I like that there is a... Because you have spec'd in that specific way, it's just going to be harder for you.
But
I mean,
trouble was, in all the original Deus Exes, you could do the boss battles stealthy or non-stealthy.
Oh yeah, but see, that was the originals. You got to remember, in this one, it was a completely new team.
Yeah. So, but credit to them, they listened to what people said.
Yep.
And they basically adapted, so you could do them stealthy if you wanted to. And I think that's a credit to them. They've gone, well, okay, well, because that was what. Boss battles, I'm not great. I'm not a great fan of boss battles because Deus Ex has always been about, if you're clever, you can like take someone out very cleverly, very quickly. And boss battles, okay, all that stuff is out the window now. Just here's a bullet sponge, and it felt jarring.
Now I actually know part of why that ended up how it did.
All right.
So, what was it? Eidos Montreal.
Yes. Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a different team who did the boss battles, who did the.
Well, no, it's not just that. So they did a development conference on the game. There's one for the original Deus Ex as well, and they planned everything on fucking paper, like all of it, from start to finish. Like the pre-production, they had all of it. But one of the guy who does the presentation says, yeah, we didn't have one for the boss battles. We said we wanted to do boss battles. We put it on a sheet, but we didn't put in how we wanted them to work. So they'd already kind of scripted, voice actors, built the bits that lead you to the boss fight, but they didn't quite know how they wanted to make it mesh in with all the other systems.
Yeah.
So... you had to basically go up against the bullet sponge character regardless of how you spec'd up because they hadn't planned that one bit. They just said they wanted to do it but hadn't properly planned for it.
Yeah. That's why they always felt a little bit out of place.
Mm-hmm. And as you say, they farmed it out to another company to do the boss battles, so...
Yeah. But they redid it and they put in all the ways to do it and they thought about it and credit to them, they did it, and... That's why I say Director's Cut is the one to play, because I always say it fixes them, but it gives you more options.
Sure. Options are nice.
Options are nice, yeah. You can still do the full-on take an assault gun and blast them apart type job.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take the slightly longer routed and slower routed and sneak around and take him out.
Sure.
Which is what I did.
I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, if you can get a director's cut, if you can.
I own them both.
Don't play director's cut rather than him revolute the normal one.
Sure.
Will be my recommendation.
Sure.
And hopefully you'll survive a bit longer.
Maybe. Maybe.
But,
I mean, I tend to play that one up to, honestly, it's going to sound stupid. I play that one up to the first mission. I think I might have had it on Xbox as well. It came out on the 360?
yeah, 2011. So yeah, it would have been 360.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
I'm pretty sure I owned them. I just don't remember playing them. But I've got this really random itch to go back and play stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just randomly recently started watching Blade Runner again. For whatever reason, I don't know. But...
Have you seen the new Blade Runner?
20...
49.
I have seen it, yeah. I quite liked it. I thought it was alright.
I quite liked it. I think they did a fantastic job of capturing the atmosphere.
Yes.
But they went, because obviously they go outside the city and go to like that outside or deserty place. I think that was, it felt...
When they're looking for Deckard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it was a different atmosphere, it still felt like Blade Runner.
Sure.
I think they did I have to say, I watched it and I very much enjoyed it because I thought they did a really good job of capturing everything as it sort of should be.
So,
I'm not
go on.
I'm not a fan of Ryan Gosling as an actor, if I'm honest.
Right.
I don't rate him very high as an actor. I mean, he has a bit more personality in Blade Runner, but in so many of his things, his personality is stare with a strange, non-committal smirk on your face and don't say anything.
Sure.
'Cause I watched him in Baby Driver.
Right.
Oh, it's terrible. I hated that film.
I've seen this. Is that the one with the kid with the music?
No, that's one where he's a getaway driver he's basically people pay him as a getaway driver.
Yeah, but he's always got like headphones on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated that film.
I'd never finished it.
It is just so much of a slog, and he doesn't say I think he says like one word in the whole film, and he just doesn't. His expression never changes. Here's one expression, which is here's the same expression for happy, angry, sad.
So what you're saying is a modern Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, but this is the case. This is the case. Spoke, and then I watched the one I thought to be quite interesting is the sort of based on Neil Armstrong, which Ryan Gosling plays Neil Armstrong.
Right.
And he's exactly the same. He basically doesn't say anything. I was like, I'm sure Neil Armstrong's a bit more chatty than this.
Wow.
And I can't remember what that was called, but that was like I was looking forward because I thought it would be an interesting sort of bother. It's just like, oh, it's rather dull, really.
That was
like,
shit.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, so they got Ryan Gosling sort of like lined up to do it. And what did I see he's going to be playing? I was looking forward to something. Oh, so doing an adaptation. Oh, that could be interesting. I find that he's playing one of the main characters in it. Oh, that's it. The Project Hail Mary, which is by the guy who made The Martian.
Oh, right.
And Martian's one of my favorite. Was one of my favorite films. Martian.
The one with
Matt Damon.
Yeah, I've seen. I don't know if I finished that one. I quite enjoyed it. I've flicked through the book.
So I and he recently the same author recently released Project Hail Mary, which is this like it's not a sequel, but it's not his next one along, but it's like his next little big spacey one along.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up my Audible account last month actually. And I listened through it. It's about 16 hours long, but I was hooked on it. Right, sort of like first sort of like hour I was hooked, and sort of devoured it fairly quickly. So every sort of like spare gap I was playing it on, and listening to it. I was really hooked into it, and I like the personality the audio book reader gave to the main character.
Right.
Because Project Hail Mary is it's told in two ways. It's told sort of like this guy basically wakes up on a spaceship in the middle of nowhere. Well, he actually works out where he is, but he doesn't know why he's there. He was a crew of 3, but his other 2 crewmates both perish on the trip, so he's left alive, and he wakes up in this city, in this spaceship, and he has to try and work out why he's there. And the book is told through flashbacks, basically. So as he sort of like regains his memories, he gets like a little. You'll get like a little bit of a flashback where sort of something happens, and you sort of see how they explain what caused the mission to be caused. Because the basic story is through no fault of our own, the sun is dying, and Project Hail Mary is that humanity's last ditch effort to try and stop the sun dying.
Okay.
And he basically is out there and he has to solve the issue. And it's a very, there's lots. I don't want to spoil like some big twists. I don't want to spoil, but it's a really neat book. I really enjoyed it, and the person who did the audiobook did a very good job of giving this guy a real good personality. Because interestingly, because I looked up after I listened to his history, I looked up the reviews, and a lot of people hated the guy as a main character. They thought he was like, a coward, he's a bit sniffy and so forth. But a lot of people said, well, I've listened to the audiobook and I really liked him. So it seems to be down to how he was written on paper comes across really bad, but then the guy had a bit of personality to him.
Right.
And has turned the character around for a lot of people because he's made him. He does come across a bit cowardly and a bit sort of like. I mean, he works up pretty quickly. He's a science teacher, is what his actual job was, and so he sort of like he tends to get. If it comes across a little bit sort of like almost sort of preachy and, oh, of course this is this, and then he sort of like. It comes across a bit smug.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get, but then I didn't get that. But I listened to the audiobook version. I didn't get that sort of feeling to it.
Okay.
It should be worth saying actually that I don't think I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote the book. He's not great at writing characters. He's not brilliant at writing characters. That is one of his weaknesses. But it's still a very good book. I really enjoyed it, and I was very sad at the end when it all ended and saw the sort of final bit. I got very sad at the end.
Right.
But then this guy who's quite sort of bubbly, and he's slightly sarcastic. He's slightly sort of like, well, of course it didn't work. I was fucking stupid.
Right.
I should have thought about that sort of stuff. I've then found out that he's going to get played by Ryan Gosling. I thought, oh, really? So basically, the whole book, the whole book is basically he hardly speaks. He does speak the book, but it's mostly sort of like internal monologue.
Yeah.
I thought, what we're just going to get the film with Ryan Gosling, and it's like, please refer to the book for the internal monologue so you know what he's thinking at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, so yeah, that was disappointing.
Oh, fair that. I will say, just going back to the second Blade Runner film.
Yes.
I really liked the replicants in Blade Runner. A fucking excellent piece about what is humanity.
Yes.
And I really liked the way, because let's be fair, they do the exact same thing in the next one.
Yes.
Except you've got, I don't remember what the AI woman's name is, but basically the main character is in love with his AI assistant.
Yeah.
These two artificial beings that just basically get treated like replicants still get treated like fucking shit. Just throw away shit. Their machines, their tools, just throw them away. And the AI, well, they're always like, oh yeah, buy these enhancements, do this, do that. All it does is this. It's nothing fancy. The fact that these two beings that aren't, sarcastic air quotes, alive, they're the most human fucking characters in it.
Yeah.
They show the most emotion out of any other character in these fucking films, and they're the ones that aren't supposed to be, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. They're the ones that people just treat as disposable,
but they're the most, they're the best examples of what humanity can be.
Yeah. What is sentience, basically, and what does it mean, and is this what happened after Google? Who knows? Google's little AI project.
Who knows?
Who knows? You saw about that, I presume.
No, actually, no.
Oh, Google engineered basically.
Oh, they shut it off. Is that the one you're on about?
Yeah, Google actually basically said that he thought the AI would become sentient, but then they released the actual. He actually got fired not for saying the AI is sentient, but for releasing the transcripts from basically corporate documents. He released the transcripts.
All right.
And that's what they basically sacked him over.
Oh.
But I did watch a couple of people like look at it and go, yeah, this. At a glance, it does look like it's having a conversation, but then it has so many inconsistencies in it that it doesn't make sense.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
I have been having fun with I've been messing around with AI. I'm messing around with GPT-3.
Right. I've
got an account for that. If you've got a Google account, you can have an account with it now.
Huh.
And I've been quite impressed because you basically give it a it's basically an AI text generator, and if you give it a prompt, like write the first like sentence of a news article, it will then generate the rest of the news article for you.
Right.
That was quite cool. But I also gave it a prompt. She goes to basically like, say you have a product, for example, you can basically give it like sort of rough details of what the product's about, and then you can give it like keywords, and then it will generate a blurb for it. So I did Rand Nerds. I basically put roughly what we did,
Fucking hell. Right.
and gave it some keywords, and then it bounced up and it created a far better description of Rand Nerds that I could ever come up with. It's like Rand Nerds. I should have written it down.
Ram, you did. You can't say that and then say, "Oh, yeah, I didn't save it, mate."
Let me see if I can OpenAI. It's openai.com. You can sign in. Log in. Google. Let's log myself in. Stop. He says trying to find the right section. Did I do add from products? Dead air. Actual product name generated, no. For some reason it's got a VR fitness idea generator, which is very random.
Yeah, just a bit. I will say, on the subject of AI generating things, some of the fucking AI art generators, they make some beautiful stuff.
They do.
The way that they're simulating brushstrokes now is insane.
There's a chap on YouTube who he takes a song and he basically feeds every line of the song into an AI, into DALL-E 2, I think he feeds it into, and lets it generate a picture. Then he puts the video up with the DALL-E with its generated images to go over each lyric.
Oh wow!
And I'll send you a link to one because he did Mr. Blue Sky,
right?
And it was interesting actually how consistent it was in a lot of things. And so forth, and then it goes completely bizarre at some other points.
All right.
But I was seeing someone put up about it on Reddit. I was reading through it, and somebody got really in a huff, basically complaining about this AI art generation because it was going to take away from money from struggling artists, and it's basically all plagiarized anyway. So,
well, I mean,
I sort of get what they're saying, but.
Yeah. There's going to come a time when the AI is going to put all of us out of a fucking job. Yeah. Because it's going to process things way faster than we can. It's going to think, hang on, why don't we try that? Like, didn't they say they're already using AI for like some engineering projects?
Yeah. There was, I believe some of the earliest forms of AI was they created AI to make like circuits and stuff, and they found that AI could produce better circuits than humans could.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. They basically sort of saying what they wanted to do, what the output should be, and it's like, oh, here you go.
Then you're like, nah, that can't work. And you're like, oh shit, it's better than anything else we can cook up. I mean,
yeah.
I get it. Like they're trying to do like AI music and the AI art and stuff. And people, oh, but what about the artist? What about the artist? Look, it's learning. Let's be fair. Most of the shit we do, we just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. The AI is going to do the same and learn that way. It learns through practice, which is how we do. We start as a blank slate, and then we throw a load of fucking variables at it and see what stick. The AI will do the same.
Okay, so here's the prompt. Write a creative ad for the following product one on Facebook aimed at said parents. I've changed it to gamers. And product. Okay, so products. Brand Nerds is a YouTube channel hosted by Skaz, Instagram, that does Let's Plays, podcasts. Okay, submit, and let's see what it comes up with. Oh, it's not the best it's ever come with. Welcome to Ryan Nerds, a game channel by nerds for nerds. Here we play latest and greatest games, review them, podcast about. We're excited to share another game with you, so subscribe today.
I think a child could have come up with that, but good job, AI.
Still, let me submit it. Let me submit it again, and sometimes it comes up. Still better than anything I can come up with. I mean, you start noticing form. Wait, so welcome to Ryan Nerds, you channel for gamers. Our Let's Play podcast reviews are perfect step to date the latest games. Whether you're a casual game or hardcore enthusiast, we've got you covered. So subscribe today and join the fun.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
That's alright.
You can also give it a prompt so that you can say to it, write an article. So what do you want to write an article on, Skaz?
I just tell it to write an article on Deus Ex.
Oh, you got to be a bit. You can give it some really crazy prompts.
All right, then I will. Go on.
Go.
No,
go.
you do it. You do it. You got an idea.
I have an idea. I was just going to mix it up. I've done a few of these, so you give me one. Go on.
Well, fucking, I want an article about why cheeseburgers can't be anything other than, I don't know, a dead animal and cheese.
Cheeseburgers. Why not about why cheeseburgers cannot be anything other than dead animal.
Also, I don't like the idea of fat-grown meat.
And why lab-grown meat is a terrible idea.
Soylent Green.
Okay. Oh, I need to change the maximum length of the article.
3 words. In the bin.
Okay, here's what's come up with.
Uh-oh.
Cheeseburgers are delicious. There's no denying that. But at the end of the day, there's nothing more than denim on some cheese, and that's why lab-grown meat is a terrible idea. Sure, you might be able to grow a burger that tastes exactly like a real thing, but it's not going to be a real burger. It's going to be a fake burger, and it's never going to be as good as the real thing. Plus, there's something about knowing that your burger came from a dead animal that just makes it taste better.
Dude, you better be saving that.
It's the same reason people love steak so much. It's not just the taste, it's the experience. And that's why lab-grown meat is a terrible idea. It might be able to replicate the taste of a burger, but it'll never be able to replicate the experience.
Well, you can't exactly take a picture of the cow and go, this is Maisie.
In all fairness, that ain't bad.
Save it. Save it. I want that.
Okay. Where are we? There you go.
Thank you.
But you know that's quite impressive, and you can give some quite crazy prompts. So I get a prompt about sheep teleporting, and it gave explanations involving quantum tunneling.
Yeah, good. Now I will say that means all you hacks at IGN. Good luck. Give it another couple of years, you'll be out of a job.
Well, yeah, the fact that anyone can access this now. It is quite concerning, but I'll put a link to the show notes for people to use for good or evil.
Cool. Like I said, IGN will probably start using it to write all of their reviews for their games. I mean, they already steal 2/3 of what they post up anyway, so...
Well, that's true. No, I love it when they take a game company's trailer and put the IGN logo on it.
Bless them.
Yes, we made this trailer. Did you now? Did you now?
It's transformative.
Did you really? Yeah. Vice President, we put our logo at the front and a watermark on it.
Like,
did you now?
Good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Fucking
All right, then here we go. Let's. Where have I lost it? Oh no, I've lost it. Guys, what have we done with it?
I don't know. Where'd you put it?
I don't know.
Over there? Well, if you knew where you'd put it, if I knew where you put it, then we wouldn't have lost it.
Okay, so write an article about why IGN just plagiarised all its material, and you're going to replace it.
Fuck, I'd laugh if they just put because they're shit or they're hacks.
Oh, a bunch of hacks. Open. I will replace them. Oh, that's okay. Write an article why IGN plagiarised all their gaming articles and are a bunch of hacks, and OpenAI will replace them soon. Submit. Okay, this is quite damning. Okay.
All right.
It is no secret that IGN has been caught plagiarising multiple times in the past. Most recently, they were caught copying and pasting an article about the game Dying Light from another site. This isn't the first they've been caught plagiarising, it's definitely not the last. IGN, the website, is supposed to be known for its original content, however, it seems they can't help plagiarise other people's work. It's getting to the point where it's becoming a joke. There are many reasons why IGN plagiarise. One reason could be they are lazy and don't put the effort to write their own articles. Another reason could be they're trying to save money and don't pay their writers their work. Whatever the reason may be, it's clear that IGN is a website that cannot be trusted. They plagiarise other people's work and they're not even sorry about it. Eventually they're going to get caught and they're going to get sued. When that happens, they're going to wish they never plagiarised in the first place.
Cool. I'll take that. I'm still better than most IGN articles out there. So
what I'm semi-impressed by is I put IGN in lowercase and it's correctly turned into uppercase.
Oh, there you go. See? Smarter than you think. You were trying to trick it. It's still smarter than the average member of staff at IGN.
Yeah. But this is, yeah, what it is. And what's interesting is the more detail you put in the prompt, the better it get, the more in depth the articles get.
Sure.
So that's a fairly low end prompt. So it's not got low, but if you put lots of details in it, like name people and so forth, it gets a lot. Or put even quotes and stuff in it. It'll generate from there quite cleverly. It's really, it is when you play around this a bit. It's somewhat it's quite impressive what it can come up with.
So what you're saying is we don't have to write anything ever again.
Yeah. Well, so this version that's open to the public. They've got a newer one that's better. They don't allow anyone to use it. So this one anyone can use. Anyone can come onto this page and use this. But there is a version, otherwise I wouldn't be able to get access to it. But there is a version that are basically being restricted, which is actually better than this. And they are not letting that get out into sort of wild yet.
All right.
So you have to be a bit cautious. But yeah, it's fairly impressive. I think you can also like give it like a source material and ask it to like sort of write like you see people like sort of like we fed an AI an article from a book and this is what came up with type thing. You can do similar things to this, I believe.
That'd be neat.
So
cool.
Right. So I think somehow we've done it again.
We've managed to stretch it out.
We've managed to do a Hey King Europe. We've managed to do an entire hour and one of our longer podcasts where we had nothing to talk about.
Yes. Expert.
Once we have stuff to talk about, it tends to last about half an hour. I always got no to talk about. We do about an hour and a half.
Still better than IGN, motherfuckers. Woo.
So very much watching up in the Suffolk Ram.
Scazius.
Come join us on our 200th episode on the 10th of September. 2 weeks today. 21:30 GMT +1 here on YouTube or on twitch.tv/randnerds. You can also pick us up on our games nights, which is this Tuesday, the 31st of August, at 20:30 GMT +1. You can watch my stream at twitch.tv/SuffolkRam.
And twitch.tv/Skazius, SK4ZZI0US.
We look forward to seeing you in a fortnight's time. So thank you once again, guys. Have a good evening. And we'll see you on episode 200.
Awesome. Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy, buddy.